Oh no, not this one. Wait, no, wrong one. Oh no, this is the right one. Okay. Okay, we're good. Um... Okay. I think we're set. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for bringing me home, Mr. Nick. You're welcome. I had to come and look at a few things here today anyway. I thought about this a little. If Mystic Maya didn't kill that nice man, she definitely didn't, yeah. Yes, of course. But if she didn't, then someone else did, right? I still think it's that sister. That murderer person. Wait, what is wrong? Yeah. Don't be so sad. What's wrong? Alright, so today's trial. So, what did you think of seeing your first trial? I was really surprised. I had never seen so many people before. Oh, no. Oh dear. And Mystic Maya looked so small and helpless. And then that snobby woman with the ruffly clothes. She had such a bad attitude. She acted like she had already decided that Mystic Maya did it. I'm going to tell her what I think of her tomorrow. I wouldn't miss tomorrow's trial for the world. Yeah. That'd be great to see. Why was that woman bullying Mystic Maya? Well, she's the opposite of a lawyer, a prosecutor, so her job is to prove people guilty. They don't care if someone's innocent, all they care about is if they win. That's terrible, yeah, I know. But she's really a good prosecutor with a heart on the inside, right? I don't know. There's no one like that. All prosecutors are the same. Well, he might have become a good guy. Eventually. Wait. Edgy? Is it that person Mystic Maya was talking about? Mr. A.G. Worth? What happened to him? That was a long time ago. He's not around anymore. What's all this mystery? What happened? He clutched onto his foolish pride too fiercely and died for it. What? Wait. Excuse me? You can't just say that. You can't just say that. And what the fuck? Okay. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know anything about who the murderer is, would you? Of course not. No, I was just thinking earlier. During the murder, where was Pearls and what was she doing? I'm eating sushi bake at 1 a.m. Will I regret this? Probably. Listen, earlier I went to Costco and they have like the shrimp cocktail things. So I got one. It's in the fridge right now. After I'm done streaming, I might eat some of it. Will I regret it? Probably. I totally get it though. And on top of that, this key. Just when did she pick this up? Mystery. I just realized I never asked you what you were doing at the time of the crime. Pearls, where were you? Excuse me, where were you? And what were you doing when the murder happened? Every time her little, like, her hair bounces, it's super cute. She's like a little bunny, just all like, boop! What I was doing? I wasn't doing anything. She's really bad at lying. Yep. I mean, she's an 8-year-old. You can whisper it to me. I won't tell anyone else. I promise. Oh no, the locks. There's 2. Oh no. I guess you can see through my lie, huh? Yeah, clearly. Oh no. I can't lie to you, can I, Mr. Nick? Oh god, do we even have anything to, like, present for that? We have the key. Wait, I'm not gonna do that yet, because I don't think we have the ability to yet. I need to check, that channeling room. There's a place she could have been. It's really empty. Training was supposed to be held today, but I guess it's already over. No, I want to go into here. Huh, looks like Morgan's here too, but she hasn't noticed me yet. What is she doing? It looks like she's talking to a picture. Don't you see? Take a look around. Finally, my chance has come. I knew it. I waited for this day for so long. That's right. Prepare yourself, dear Misty. I knew it right when she was talking about how, like, Pearl was her treasure. She was really wanting, like, and she kept emphasizing that she was from a branch family. Oh my god, Morgan. Oh, if it isn't Mr. Wright. Just curious, but that picture you were looking at. Oh, today was that event, was it not? I heard you did well. I'm terribly sorry, but I could not attend the trial today. Please accept my apology. I had a previous engagement, as I had to watch over the trainees training today. I think she's a liar. All because the master can't be here with us, you understand. And that is why a lowly branch family member such as myself must do this. So, what happened? Oh, she's totally involved. Were you in this room the whole time Lotta and I went to call the police? Yes, of course. I was by Mystic Maya's side the entire time. She's a liar. I suppose nothing happened in the end, good sir. Sorry to have played on your hopes. God, So do the students train every day? They were given a day off the day after the murder, of course. However, and I assume however. Mr. Wright. How many times must I tell you before you understand, good sir? They are to be addressed as Mystic Maya and Mystic Pearl. Okay, fine, whatever. She's totally wanting Pearl to be like the next master. So the master is Mystic Maya's mother. She is a brilliant medium. And where is she now? We are not sure. About 16 or 17 years ago, the DL6, she didn't fail, he just didn't know, and after that she simply disappeared. I don't believe she will return to this village in any case, and in 4 years' time, her name will be forever erased from this village. Wait, why? And that is 4 years from now for her. When that happens, a new master will be appointed to Kudain Village. Mystic Maya was supposed to become the next master. However, with this murder, I'm afraid... She's totally laughing. Maybe... Or that's what Lotta testified in court. I don't really see anything new. The folding screen is really showing its age. All of its edges are a bit tattered. Okay. Yeah, I don't really see anything else that's new here. But Miss Morgan Fay is awfully suspicious, so... Very bitter. And even though the weather is gorgeous today, it's raining inside my heart. Oh no. Oh no. I meant the side room. Whoops. The bedding is all laid out today, too. So weird. Wait. I'm sure this wasn't here before the murder took place. Yeah, I was just thinking. Wait. No, there's... So if they have plenty of costumes, then she could have worn it. Or someone else could have worn it, yeah. Okay, so no one's in there. That's just a bear thing. Okay, Alright, so this is important, I think. But it doesn't look like there's anything really to do there. Do I even have anything to really present to her? I don't think so. So, I'll have to do some looking around first. This case has had me out of the office most of the time. Can come back tomorrow. Helping Maya should be my top priority. Okay. So, detention center? Maybe Maya can tell me something about it? No? Okay, so I guess... Alright, I guess I'll just have to give it a try. Let me save, though. Alright, Pearl, listen. We need to do a thing. We have to try. Pearl's alibi. Pearl? You have to tell me what you were doing when the murder happened, okay? But what if I can't just tell you what happened? Then I'll guess what happened. How does that sound? She's so cute. You'll tell me if I guess something right, won't you? Yes. Now, when the murder was taking place, you were here, right? Here? Or here? I did save right before, right? So let's try. Were you here? No? Okay. God damn it. So maybe she was in the side room? Oh, come on. Of course we don't. Oh, fuck that. Where am I supposed to find evidence, though? Is she still in there? Oh, she is, okay. There she is. Did I miss something? Maybe I have to search in here. I mean, I don't know what to look for, but... Once in a lifetime. The door. The Phoenix, okay. Anything else? There's not really anything here. The weather outside looks really nice. Okay. So not here. God, I don't know where to... Maybe I need to check the winding way a bit. Side room. Looks like guests can use it to take a break when they feel tired. Not very interesting. Okay. Although the incinerator piques my interest. So there's something about the incinerator too. Your internet died? Oh no. Right before I streamed, I had some internet issues. So that's why I streamed a little bit later than I wanted to, but... I totally get it. How's the investigation? I'm having some trouble. Pearl is withholding some information from me. And so I have to get 2 locks from her, but... I'm trying to figure out where she was during the murder. So that's where I'm at right now. Looking for evidence to find out where she's been. Or where she was. I'll get there, but... it's not easy. I'm not finding anything right now. Yeah. Okay, there's nothing here. I was already at the side room. And we already saw this box. It's suspicious, but... It's a souvenir, yeah. Because there's nothing here. Maybe I have to, like, present stuff? But I don't know what I would present. Just ended up presenting everything to everyone. Okay, I have to look it up a little bit. Because I've just found out it is a presenting thing, so let's do that. Okay, let's go back to you, girl. Where'd you get this? You found it on the day of the murder, right? So where? Every time her hair bounces, I love it. It's so cute. Found it in the incinerator. Why would it be in there? The door on it was a little open, so I took a peek. It was after the channeling, when everyone was in a panic. Are you going to tell my mother? No. I'll get a spanking. Oh no! Alright, let's go to the incinerator then. Okay. Incinerator. Let's go. Someone by the... Wait, there are clothes sticking out now. It was totally her. It's totally her. Like, you're that dentist guy. I'm not a dentist. Phoenix is gonna become the cool uncle figure to Pearl. I can totally see that. You're all out of breath. Like, huh? Oh. I'm just totally happy and like totally excited to be here. Why are you still here? Like, I mean, there are so many things like... Okay. Alright, let's talk. I am. What? Is there some sort of legend connected to that urn? Like, yeah, it's this village's treasure, okay. And like, it's sealed inside that urn. Ami face spirit. So they didn't put it together correctly because it says I am instead of Ami. Who's that? Everyone knows that the lady that founded the Kurain channeling technique was Mystic Ami. So like, as long as her spirit like lives in that urn, the spiritual power of the Fae's family will stick around. Like, isn't that totally romantic? Alright, so what happened? I totally don't know anything because I was like sleeping in the side room. What a total bore. I totally have nothing to do with... Exactly. Yep. Oh dear. And she got so like... She rushed over when she noticed me at the incinerator, so... Okay. Why don't you tell me about your sister's fatal accident? What a lovely conversation to have, sir. Like, why? You think, like, it's got something to do with the murder? Yeah? Welp. Oh dear. Here's another one. Ugh, so annoying. I want to look at this. I guess I should take a look inside for myself. This is from Maya's costume. There's blood on it. A tiny bit, but still. Unburned remains found inside the garden incinerator. A small amount of blood is on it. So someone tried to burn this, obviously Innie, because it wasn't there when we checked it just like a moment ago. And this key was also found in there. So I can't really pry anything from her yet. I could use the thing we found in the incinerator, but let me go in here again real quick. Okay, never mind. Let's try... I mean, I saved, so we'll be fine. Let me just try this. Okay, so... Let's see. Dr. Gray Guy made my sister fall asleep, and that's all I have to say about it. Another person's accident. Wait, maybe this? 1 year ago, on May 2nd, 14 patients died from malpractice at a Gray Surgical Clinic. Would this work? How would I know if that person, like, had an accident? Oh god, I don't understand this. So... Hold on. I forgot I can do profiles. Give me a sec. Okay, let me look at the profiles real quick. That's scary. I don't want to look at that. God, I have to find evidence for her locks and Pearl's locks? Oh no. So... Oh, this is hard. She's still in there. Yeah, there she is. Wait, can I show this to her? Okay, nope, alright. I'm still confused. No. Oh, she's back. Okay. You've been waiting. Oh no. Not much. I found a few things. I just need a little more time. We found like a piece of your clothing in the incinerator, but I'm kind of confused about that. Every time I see you, all I do is cause trouble. It's so sad. So, how was it, today's trial, I mean? You were fantastic, Nick. Every time I thought our goose was cooked, you managed to turn it all around. I bet it would make a great Hollywood movie. We'll win it! We'll save you. The person who shot Dr. Gray wasn't me, was it? Of course not. If that were true, then I'd be really happy, but... there wasn't anyone else in that room with the two of us, right? I took a quick glance, but there wasn't anyone there. I still think someone was there, but... Why do you believe in me? Why do you think I didn't kill Dr. Gray? I mean, why would you kill him anyway? She said that spirit mediums can't have dreams. When you're channeling, it's impossible for you to dream because your soul leaves you. Yeah, so how could you have a dream? You are not the real murderer. I think that maybe before you called the spirit, you were drugged. What? Maybe? But drugged by who and when? Well, I can guess the who, but... I think this was planned from the very beginning. And you were set up to take the blame for Dr. Gray's killing Dr. Gray. I feel like... Eni has a motive to kill Dr. Gray. And I think Morgan has a motive to get rid of Maya. Toxicology test, if that was the thing in the game. Yeah, but would it still be in her system by now, or would it have left? I don't know. I want to ask you something about Pearls. No matter what I try, she won't answer me. I want to know what she was doing at the time of the murder. Wait, Nick, you don't think she did it, do you? No. She's a great kid, and really cute, and really great, and cute. I didn't really think she was the murderer, but she's definitely hiding something. Alright, so what is she hiding, though? The two of us, we were playing with her ball. Where? Where were you playing? It's nothing really special, just a plain old ball. I think she was still playing with it when I started the channeling job that day. really loves to play with that ball. Oh my gosh, she was in there? Pearlie's always hiding in there. You know, the side room? There's a clothing box in there. It's really big, so once you see it, I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. So we've seen that already. Okay, so... we'll go check that out then? Excuse me. Oh, Lotta. Wait, why'd she run away? Wait, why? I'm confused. Why is everyone running away? Lotta? Why are you running? Wait, what's going on? Hey, Morgan? Did you see Lotta come by here? Oh, that girl from the Heartland. I'm sorry, but she did not pass by here at any time. Okay. Then... this way. Well, Lotta's somewhere. Oh, there's a ball! I'm pretty sure I saw Lotta run in this direction, but it doesn't look like she's here. Oh my god, is that... it's the Steel Samurai. So then what is it doing on the floor? Is Lotta in there? Oh my god. Made too much sushi bake. I'm gonna eat this for like 2 days. Oh no. Makes me think of whenever I make pasta. Always too much. What were you doing in there? I'm a bad person, just another piece of human trash. I needed a hole to crawl into. And she runs. Wait, what? There's a small hole in this clothing box. And it's about 8 inches off the ground. Was the clothing box behind the thing so someone can change their clothes into one of these costumes? Same height as the hole in the folding screen. Ooh. It's totally behind the screen. Oh, we're learning new things. Okay. So it's big enough to fit a grown adult. Well, if she can be called an adult. That's so mean. Okay, so we have the ball. So, I mean, I don't think I can use it as, like, a thing for the locks yet, but I think I could show it to her. Lotta. The person with the fluffy cotton candy hair. How do you know what cotton candy is? She said, don't look at me with them eyes, but I'm not that scary, am I? She also wanted me to tell you, going on a trip to find myself, so don't you bother finding me. You're welcome. She's so cute. I love her. Okay, so I'm gonna try presenting her this. It's your ball, though. Okay. Okay, so maybe I do have to use it. Okay, I think I need to use this, on these. So let me try. I'm gonna give it a go. Okay. Wait, but I don't know where she's at. I mean, she must have been in here. Or here. Because she was in the box, right? I mean, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't understand. I'm really confused. What else do I have? I don't have anything. What do I investigate? I'm really confused. Do I talk to you, or do I present something? Okay, no. I don't know. No. The key. Pearl's song is so good. I like it a lot. It fits her. Where do I go, though? Oh, here? Okay. Oh, it's Mia now. It's good to see you. I was really worried, so I thought I'd see how you were doing. You might get caught on film again. Anyway, how are you doing? Not great. Okay, I need to talk about... Well, let's do this first. There's still a whole slew of questions for you to answer before the trial tomorrow. Yep. You mean like, how did the real murderer get into the room and kill Dr. Gray? Also, when did the murderer enter the channeling chamber? Though... Maya has already said there wasn't anyone else in there. If a grown woman can fit in that box, maybe Amy was in there? Then what about this? This case is all about spirit channeling, so, I mean, yeah. Okay, so... After all, spirit channeling isn't exactly an everyday thing, is it? The power to change your physical appearance into the person you're calling was something our ancestor, Mystic Ami Faye, acquired. The Faye family was originally a family known for its service to the gods. When Mystic Ami was born, she was given a certain fate through her name. Because, you see, she was named after one of the Buddhas of Buddhism, Amitabha? It usually sits in the winding way and has her name written on it. It was broken though. Well, it's about time I left. Oh. There's still a lot of dirt left in this case. Once you think you've gathered all the evidence, then come back. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there was something I thought of and then it just slipped by. What was it? It was... Oh no, I don't remember. No. So her name is written in it, but it was broken at some point. Yeah, okay. There we go, okay. What else am I supposed to do? Side room? No? Okay, no. So I'm gonna have to get them to open up somehow. I'm just not really sure how I'm supposed to do that. The Cyclops, yeah. Well, there are a few places I didn't point out when I did the thing, so I could try those, but... Okay, so she was not... She wasn't in... So she was not in the channeling chamber, and she was not in the side room. But we know for sure she wasn't in here, so I guess she was in here. Okay, so... You were playing with your ball. Now, what was it Pearl was doing? She was playing with this. Wait, did she play with this and then break this? Is that what happened? Maybe that's what happened. You were playing with this ball, right? Okay. Maya told me you love to play with your ball. The Steel Samurai one. And then... something happened, huh? Something really bad. She did break it! What do you mean, something? Nothing happened. While you were playing with your ball, this happened. This? It all comes together. This urn, it's a village treasure, right? Oh, she didn't want to get in trouble, yeah. And the spirit of the founder of the Kurein village, of the Kurein technique is sealed in here, isn't it? Yes. Pearl's lying is bad, I know. I mean, she was sheltered too. What's this? It's cracked all over, isn't it? There's even a few gaps here and there. Please don't tease me. You broke the sacred urn, didn't you? Huh. The ball smacked into it and knocked it over, right? And if Morgan found out, she'd get really mad, huh? Oh. She doesn't seem to be fighting back. I think I hit the bullseye this time. Oh. It's a really old urn, isn't it? I guess? It's so old, so it's not that weird to have a few cracks. Oh. Because the name is not right. Wait, how am I supposed to... Wait, how do I show that it's written wrong? Oh, okay. Look at their profiles, that makes sense. Okay. Because I knew what was wrong with it, but... Who started the Kurein channeling technique? Huh? Oh, it was Mystic Ami. That's right. And how do you spell her name? Do you know? I don't know. It's spelled A-M-I. I thought it was a little odd when I saw I am written on this urn. How did she fix it? And that's how I knew that someone must have broken this urn and made a mistake in spelling what they put it when they put it back together. Oh, pearls. Oh, oh, it fixes it. Okay. So tell me, around when Mystic Maya started the channeling on that day, I was playing in the Winding Way with my ball. That's when you broke the urn. Yeah, I broke it. I accidentally let Mystic Ami's spirit fly away. She will never know. I'm a bad child. Oh no! Breaking a village treasure is unforgivable. I thought that maybe they would make me leave the village. But the broken pieces were pretty big, so... And no one would notice. Yeah. Oh. I found some glue and brought it to the hallway, and fixed the urn there. She tried her best. Oh! Screenshot. I was In the Japanese version, her name is Kyoko, and when Pearl breaks the pot, it gets swapped to Kotomo. I was gonna take a screenshot earlier, but I missed it. Oh, I see. So, about how long did it take you? It must have been a nasty repair job. I might be strong at spiritual things, but when it comes to arts and crafts, I'm not nearly as skilled. When I had finished fixing the urn and looked up, I saw you coming into the manor. So that's around when Lotta and I were coming back inside after reporting the murder. Okay. When I saw that, I packed everything up in a hurry. Mr. Nick? I'm going to get banished, aren't I? No! That won't happen. I mean, I bet Mystic Ami is happy to be free from that cramped urn. Yeah. Free her. Okay, so... under repair in the hallway until police came. Okay. So... Wait, is there anything else? So we know what happened in the hallway where she was. But that doesn't explain some of the other things. Like her. Unless the other accident was from Pearl accidentally breaking that, but I don't think so. It becomes important in the trial, I figured. Oh, because the other accident was a traffic accident. God. Very confused. Well, time to just move around until I figure out where I need to go. Okay, let's go. So cute. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh dear. I think I found out everything I can, but I can't see how it all adds up. Hell... Wait, what? And is Eenie Miney being here just a coincidence? No, I think she's totally involved. My theory is she dressed up as as Maya, but I don't know how. Hey, mister... Wait. That nurse turns out to be Enie's sister. It's too convenient. Hey, Phoenix, I'm talking to you. Oh, I get it. You can't be bothered to look over at trash like me. Is that it, Mr. High and Mighty? No, he's so focused. I thought I heard a mosquito buzzing in my ear, although I couldn't understand a word. Oh, I hate mosquitoes. They're the worst. Okay. Well, I gotta hand it to you. You sure know how to chase down garbage. I mean, I'm grateful to you for chasing this large lump of one around like this. Thanks. But you know, you're just wasting your time. I'll be fine on my own. Oh. Oh, well, you see... Well, you're not exactly a real gentleman with a lady's heart, are you? You're not exactly the world's #1 charmer either. Okay, so you came up, there must be a reason for that, so let's talk. Look, I'm really dang sorry about today. When I get all fired up about something, it's impossible to stop me. I don't suppose you could forgive a gal like me. I'll forgive you. Oh, I'm still... Nothing at all. Just talking to myself, you know? Gibberish. Now then, lot of heart at your service. I'll share with you all the dirt I've dug up. Wait, what dirt? I think you didn't forgive her. I don't know. Don't be all surprised. Tell you what, I'll even give you all this information for free. An alien clone. If Maya is not the real murderer, then who do you think it is, Lotta? Well, ain't it obvious? It's that occult freak. I was thinking too, but I don't know. Well, there ain't anyone else it could be, right? That granny, you and me, we were all together that whole time. I think the granny. I think Morgan is in on it, but I don't think she killed him. Because she was with them. Which means she might have already found some info about our mysterious Innie. Wait, so I can't... Wait, what else am I supposed to say? there's nothing else here. So is she gonna give us the dirt or not? Okay. I thought she was gonna give us dirt. What happened to that? Hmm? Do I have to present? Okay. You know, actually I did a little checking up on her the other day. Her sister, she's the one that Dr. Gray wanted to call back from the spirit world. I knew that. I had heard as much. I had also heard that Inu was the one who introduced Dr. Gray to Kuding Village. Yes? Do I just keep presenting this, or do I just talk to her now? Okay. Tell me, speaking of Inu, do you have any other information about her? It'll cost you, and it'll cost a lot. You just said you'd give us information for free. That girl was hospitalized about half a year ago. Oh? Well, you can go find out on... Wait, what? Here, I'll give you the clinic's address. Maybe you can find out something. Wait, what happened to her half a year ago? Ew. Okay, I don't have much of a choice. The Haughty Clinic. Alright, I guess that's where we're going. What a name. Oh, it's 12:04. It's okay. We'll keep going. Right when he shows up, the cursed clinic is what I see in the chat. Oh no, the cursed clinic. I feel it. Yes, are you to visit a patient? Oh my god, why does he keep scratching everything? Yes, I'm Director Haughty. Dude's a total creep. Yeah. I didn't think I'd be speaking with the director himself. Yes, so what can I help you with? I'd like to ask you a few questions about Inimini. It makes it so itchy just looking at it. I know! Oh. Wait, what? It's too bad, I'll tell you something. That girl left here... Wait, it... You know you shouldn't be up and about. Come on, it's back to your room with you. Don't you dare start with Sweetum's thing with me. If you don't behave, you'll get yourself tossed out this hospital. Wait, who is? Oh, he's not the director. Okay, I got it. Oh, he's scratching faster. Don't, yes, me? Who in the world are you? But... Didn't they just say you're not the... I'm so confused. We treat all sorts of, doctory clinical stuff. Oh my god. Well, I don't actually know or particularly care about the details. Okay. What do you know about Miss Eenie Meenie? God, ew, no. From then to okay. Is he like salivating? God, I hate him. She needed surgery, it was really bad. Mr. Director, see, there's this thing about how doctors aren't allowed to talk about patient stuff. It's all in those TV shows too, right? You've seen them. Oh no. I did get a paper earlier, I thought. I guess not? Okay. Okay, I really don't want to interact with this guy. The salmonella from Steel Samurai is worse, though. Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. I don't want to talk to this guy. Don't cut into my monologue like that. I'm explaining things here. Oh, ew. Okay. Must be the waiting area. I don't see all that many patients. You have to talk to him, I know. Oh. I wonder where that door leads to. It looks like an exit. Very peculiar about this guy because I know it's not me. He freaks me out. I don't like it. Do something in vain and your only reward is tiredness. Okay, I guess, oh. Extremely quote-unquote healthy, okay. Maybe this? I feel like somewhere, I've seen her somewhere before, I think. Okay. Okay, so... How is this supposed to help me? This? Oh, God. I couldn't find anything with that dude. Lotta. What about the accident cutout? Maybe. Okay, I'll try. Yeah, that's not working. I already showed this one, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, enough of that. What about... Are you kidding me? Really now? I'll try it. Oh my god. Yes. What is with your angry face? Violence isn't the answer. The trial is tomorrow, and I would really like some information from you. Well, you know, I think I can let you in on a little secret. Yes, actually, I'm not the real... We know that. Anyone with a half a fly's brain knew that. Okay, I'm actually this clinic. See, I'm like this place's walking diction Oh my god. Oh. There's nothing I don't know about them, but I get embarrassed talking about it. Oh, he's so nasty. Yeah. That girl, I remember her especially well. Really? Okay. So tell me about her. Stop with the creepy face. I hate it. That girl, that's right. She was transferred here from the general hospital. This was a year ago. She was one of those emergency cases. What was she ill with? Nah. She was injured, not ill. With my trained eye, I could see it was a huge wound at that. Her whole body was wrapped around and around with bandages, and her arm was in a cast. A year ago. Okay. Oh, okay. It was a traffic accident, yeah. I looked it up, I did. It was terrible. Even ask was... So, was it... I wonder if it was a different accident. Just now, you mentioned something about a big operation. Yeah. It's one heck of an accident. Okay, her whole face was burned like bad toast. It was bad. She looks fine now. I'm surprised with the burn. I don't know how it would heal that well. It was a good thing that Miss Innie had a picture of herself. I heard that picture was how they put her face back together. What? So she happened to have a license photo on her. So I got her picture as a way to remember her. Wait, is she... I wonder if... Did Innie die or Mimi die? That's what I'm thinking now. That might be a bit far out, but we'll see. So you looked up information on Innie's accident, right? I read every paper that covered it at the time. Okay. God. Don't get me wrong, I thought something like this might come up, so... Okay, so obsessive to the max, but I bet I could learn about how to stay on the lead from this guy. Was in the passenger seat. The Okay. And dozing, or so it says, a strong jolt woke her up and the next minute a sea of fire was all around her. Miss Eni fought with the door, finally got it open, and somehow managed to get away. So, it was the same accident, right? It's been half a year since Miss Eni had her surgery and got better. She was discharged sometime in December last year. So how was I? I was a real help, wasn't I? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's get out of there. Now I'm so confused. We're getting answers, but more questions at the same time. I did. Hold on, I just... Whew. Okay. What's the matter? You ain't looking so well. So earlier, that old granny called the cops. Wait, why? Wait. She's gonna say something that's gonna make Maya look more guilty. I feel it. But honestly, I tell you, that granny sure got her bloomers in a knot. It always starts out small, you know? Stealing the master's seat and controlling the village folk. And now you see what it's turned into, a murder, that's what. Yeah. That stuff you were just talking about, that's the first I've heard of it. Phoenix, it's pretty obvious what she wants. Well, it's old news to everyone else in the world. You said something about stealing the master's seat. This was pretty obvious from the beginning when she was like, we're just a branch family. Like, I'm like, okay. Ugh. Yep. Right now, the master is this medium named Misty Faye, but the one that really supposed to be the master was that old granny. Really? Hanging around the garden in the middle, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, something about the master. So I hear the master has always been the eldest daughter. Oh, okay. Turns out that old bat is Misty Faye's older sister. Wait, so how is she branch family and Misty not? They say the old sister is usually the one with more spiritual power. Somehow Granny there lost to her younger sister Misty. Oh, this made the townsfolk turn against her, so I hear. Said all sort of things. Too. So that's why Pearl is her treasure. Okay. Okay, I see. I mean, it was pretty obvious she was bitter about it. Let's go... No. Oh, she's not here though. Huh. Okay. Family politics, all good family fun. Exactly. So I guess this way then. Yeah. Hey, like, I haven't seen you in a while. It hasn't been that long. Like, what's with that scary look on your face? Okay. I'm gonna continue because... So she also had a traffic accident. Okay, let's try. Okay, let's see what I can get out of this with what I have right now. Okay. Now I'm hungry. It's almost 1. I think I'm gonna eat that shrimp after I'm done streaming today. Please tell me about the traffic accident. Okay. Whose accident? Your... That Dr. Gray guy made my sister fall asleep, and like, that's all I have to say about that. Okay. Which means she must know something. Hope it's yummy. I mean, it's good. I'm like thinking about it now. I want to crack it open right now, but careful not to get a tummy ache. Yeah. Okay, so how about the other person's accident? Like your accident. Wait, do I have to show... Wait. Okay, so... Last night, 2 women's car crashed into a highway center divide. One of the women was not able to escape the flaming wreckage and died at the site. Ongoing investigation has revealed that the driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. Huge sea of flames. I was still like half asleep. I opened the right door and got out. I don't remember anything else. Okay, so this one? No? Okay, so... So your accident? Or... No, we... Hold on. Okay, hold on. So do I show her face? Like herself? Oh, okay, there we go. I want to ask you about your own car accident. Yeah. So, wow, like, how strange. I have, like, no idea what you're talking about. I mean, the proof I have is in this clipping. The one that I couldn't use earlier for some reason. Would you take a look at this? It's a newspaper article from 1 year ago. It says, Miss Eenie Miney holds interview about crash. Uh-huh. You suffered a very bad injury and had to be admitted to a hospital, correct? Like, wait. That's not me, it's you though. I mean, like, this person has the same name. No, it's not. Isn't here too. Oh, she's trying so hard. So, this one? Okay, yes, okay, good. This is your proof. Like, what's that picture supposed to mean? I got this from the hospital where you were hospitalized. There was a certain patient there. He's quite a fan. As a memento of your stay, he stole this. I have to say, this photo looks like you. That creepy fake director. She knows exactly who I'm talking about too. That's great. Now, are you ready to tell me about the accident? Like, wait a second. Okay, so, like, I was in an accident, sure. But that's, like, totally not related to this murder. Actually, it is. Look at this article. It says that one of the women died, correct? And that woman who died, who do you suppose they mean? Okay. There we go, your sister. I believe it was your sister, Mimi Rainey. Oh. You were riding in your sister's car while she drove. The two of you were together when your accident occurred, making it one and the same. Yes! What do your eyes look like when they're open? I want to know. So what happened? Yeah, I was riding in that car with my sister. We were, like, on our way home. It's always a red car, isn't it? I was riding in the passenger seat when I fell asleep. Oh, and that's what that picture is. Okay. There she is. It is a cool car. And then, it happened. At the time, I grabbed for my purse and escaped from the passenger side door. And your sister, I, like, couldn't do anything. The car was full of smoke. I couldn't see anything. Oh. What about the doctor? Did Dr. Gray really cause that accident by drugging your sister with sleeping pills? Like, he was totally out to get my sister. He totally did that too, like, pay my sister back. It seems simple, doesn't it? Wait, but it would be very hard to catch me. Actually, I'd say impossible. What? I'm going to serve you a slice of humble pie. I hope you enjoy it. Wait, is she admitting to it? She totally did it. It's nothing really else to present with. Because I want to know what she looks like with her eyes open. That would cement the idea to me, but I don't know. Okay. No. Oh dear. Okay. Looks like something's up. Stop! Leave my mother alone! Oh. Pearl, dear, it is perfectly alright. I will be out for a short while this young man... No, you must stay here and protect the manor. Tell an 8-year-old child to protect the place. I'll show you something cool. Stop with the pistol! Okay, something's happening. Poor Gumshoe being dragged off by an ear like that by Morgan. Oh. Pearl, listen, I think your mom's not a great person. Just saying. But... she doesn't know. This has never happened before. Mr. Nick, I have a really bad feeling that I can't shake. I think something really bad is going to happen. Oh. what about Mystic Maya? She'll be alright. I think I've gathered enough evidence. She must feel all alone. Please, Mr. Nick, go visit her. But I can't just leave you here all alone either. I'll be fine. Please, Mystic Maya needs you by her side. I can't leave you alone with the possible murderer. I mean, there's not much else I can do, right? Alright, let's go. You kept me waiting, Phoenix. Shit happened. So, how are the preparations? They're... Everything will be on your shoulders tomorrow. Whether Maya is found guilty or innocent, it's a heavy weight to bear. If memory serves, Mia had a few psych locks of her own. She did. I'm ready to unlock the last piece of information I need now. Oh my god. Okay, so let me save real quick, and then I'll do that. Because I haven't saved in a while. Okay. You know something, don't you? About the real murderer, I mean? There we go. Okay, let's try this. She had 3, right? Why do you think so? It's really trying at times to be able to see other people's secrets. Yeah. It looks like it's time for you to explain your reasoning. I feel like this is like a test. She's testing me. Okay, let's do it. She's definitely testing. Okay. The real murderer that Mia's been hesitant to name all this time. Oh right, I have to present it. I forgot. Okay. Okay. Again, the bam bam bam. There we go. Okay. Phoenix, you think I'm hiding information about someone from you, isn't that right? I can see that you are. Alright then, tell me who you think I'm protecting. Pearl? Morgan? We got all the facts. We don't have all the evidence. We don't have anything else really. So I don't really know what I'm supposed to show her, but let's see. But like, it has to be either her or Morgan, right? So I don't really know. But I don't really know what Pearl has anything to do. But Morgan hates Misty though, right? Whatever, I have a full health, so it's fine, but okay, let's try. Okay. It's the only person I could think of other than Pearl. And Maya, she obviously wants to protect Maya, so I don't think that's the case for this one. There's no one else you would protect like this. Yeah, okay. But while the murder was being committed, my aunt was outside with everyone else. Show me evidence that would cast suspicion onto my aunt. The key? There's a key... I don't know. But the key was with Pearl, so maybe not. This is hard. The only new evidence we found is like this. Don't think the ball. This doesn't really make sense either. Yeah, I was thinking that too. The key makes some sense, but it's weird because Pearl had it and she wasn't with her mom at the time. The cloth makes some sense too because Morgan is the only one that had access to Maya after the thing, but I don't know if it was truly Maya, you know? Okay, let's try. The proof is this piece of cloth. I found it in the incinerator near the Winding Way. It's the same material as Maya's costume, except for the splotch of blood. Okay, but when Maya was arrested, she was wearing her costume. That just means someone changed her clothes. But why? I don't know why, but there's only one person who could have done that. What's that look mean? Your argument is too flimsy. Okay. Do you have any proof that piece of cloth is from Maya's costume? Oh, no. I don't... No. This is really hard. Do I have proof it was from her costume? Fuck if I know. Oh, I do. The key? It was found in the incinerator, right? Yeah, okay. I think this is the proof you're looking for. Yeah. At the beginning of the channeling, Maya had possession of this key. And yet, somehow it magically ended up in the incinerator in the Center Garden. And this is what Maya told me. While I was channeling, the key was sitting inside my sleeve. And both this key and the piece of cloth were found inside the incinerator. Which means that this piece of cloth was a part of Maya's costume. Okay. Someone changed her into a different set of clothes, and then burned the costume she was wearing in the incinerator. Exactly. Okay, so one more lock. Oh god, this is... Okay. As long as you have those two pieces of evidence, you can cast suspicion on my aunt. However, Like I said in the beginning, my aunt has an alibi. Here's my final question. You don't have to present solid proof of this for me, but I want to know, if my aunt is the culprit, then how did she commit the murder? In order for my aunt to murder Dr. Gray, who or what does she need? I think the who is this, right? Or this? Who or what? I mean, she said who or what, so I'm thinking who would be one of these people? Yeah, because, I mean, she's the only other person there, right? And she pretty much admitted to it, so it has to be her. She's the answer to the final question, which means that my aunt and Eenie Meenie, or Minnie, whatever, were in cahoots. Yeah, exactly! They both have a motive and they used each other to get that motive done. One, to have Maya out of the picture, and two, to get revenge on Dr. Gray. Yeah. Oh god, it's stressful. Oh, it's so stressful. Okay. Something's been bothering me all this time. This crime is something no normal person could carry out. The person would have to know a lot about Fay Manor and the village itself to do this. But Morgan already has an alibi, which is why I can't figure out how it was done. We can assume that Eenie Meenie is involved somehow. I did it, congrats, yeah. Oh my god, it's so stressful. We don't have a motive. We totally have a motive. Phoenix, we have a motive. She doesn't have a motive to kill Dr. Gray, but she has a motive to use Eenie Meenie. It's like, we don't really know for sure she was cooperating with Eenie. Then there's only one possibility. Think about it, Phoenix. Why would my aunt do something like this? And why would she do it in such an underhanded fashion? Mother. She's the one who holds the key to this. Misty. Phoenix! Don't be silly, mind, of course. Your hair looks like so pretty right now, I just have to say it. Nah, I totally get it. Sometimes it's just nice. Things just work out, like your hair is in perfect condition or your skin looks great and you just have to show it off. Or talk about it. I totally get it. I don't really talk about my hair being like great, but I do talk about how it's confusing that it's straight but not straight. Like, I don't really know. Mia and Maya's mother, why would she bring her up now? Phoenix, were you not paying attention to Morgan, like, shit-talking to a photo of their mother earlier? Now then. Looks like we've gathered everything we could. Like, my hair is really straight, but on the bottom it kind of curls sometimes, or it, like, foops away. My dad's hair would be the same if it was longer, but it's not wavy. It's just weird. My brother, on the other hand, his hair is pinned straight, so... Looks like we've gathered everything we could. All we have to do is win tomorrow. Everything will become apparent then. Right, Chief, we won't lose. Okay. So we found some stuff. We are trying to accuse... Morgan Fay, I think? of the murder, or at least being an accomplice in it. And Eenie Miney, or Eenie Minnie, I don't know how to pronounce her name, she is totally suspicious and pretty much just fessed up to being a part of it in some kind of way. So we have to use what we've got and figure out how they did it, because we only saw Maya go in with the victim, so we'll see. All right. Some confusion, but I'll have to figure it out. I can do it! So red sus or purple sus? Red? I'm guessing is Eenie. And the granny, she's also pretty sus. But Maya, not so much. Because we know she didn't do it. We have to believe she didn't do it. But the others, we're still trying to figure out how they framed her. Plot twist, it's green. Pearl. Nick? Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18? Just like me? They're the same age. Holy shit. I was just thinking about how strong she is. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time all by herself, and she's so grown up. Yeah, and I'm sure she felt a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. That does make sense. And then you look at me and, well, I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm still just a little girl. Girl, listen. Like, don't compare yourself to other people's thing. If I kept comparing myself to other people's success, I would be like, dude, I don't know, more depressed than I am. So, like, you're fine. 18's still young. It's okay. I think Von Karma's daughter is one of those cases where she's just... Well, you see the thing with prodigy children thing. They're like, oh, this 2-year-old would, you know, is this smart, or IQ is this high. I'm just like, listen, don't listen to that stuff all the time, or else you'll just feel bad. Like, there's really nothing to feel bad about as long as you're doing something for yourself, you know? You'll get there. If we would always compare, we would be a slim. Yeah. And on top of that, I'm the suspect in a murder trial. Oh. But I think you're really strong too, Maya, for all you've gone through. Yeah. She's only winning because the judge is a masochist and wants to be whipped. I mean, kind of, yeah. The judge is so incompetent. He lets the prosecution get away with so much. I think that's the problem. Especially if they have a reputation. Pearl! Somewhat. The two of you look like you're doing well today. I'm happy for you. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. Wait, what? My mother is coming to show her support. Your mother is part of the problem, Pearl. Pearl, you don't know, but your mother is probably part of the problem. Pearly. Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today too? Did Milf Maya come back when I wasn't there? No. I mean, I think she did? Yeah, we went to the detention... We went to the detention center and she was back for a bit. Because she had those psych locks, so we had to unlock those. I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. It's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. You were there for that one? Because we did it twice, I think? Because I did that at the end of the stream. The psych locks, unlocking them. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Oh. Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake. See you later then. I'll leave you to your alone time. Pearl, stop. Totally ships them. Nick? This way Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, Maya doesn't know that her auntie is suspicious. She has no idea. Oh, that makes so much sense. Okay. He's trying to protect her. Got it. That's fair. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. Sounds like you've made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Not the karma again, I know. Speaking of Among Us, like, I bought the game like ages ago. Not ages ago, like sometime early this year. But I never played it because I didn't want to play it with anyone. But at least it was cheap, so I don't feel like I wasted that much money. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you made quite a name for yourself. Oh, I already read that. Don't be foolish, you foolish fool wearing that foolishly foolish clothes. Well, people in Among Us are dumb, yeah. I used to watch people play it just because it was interesting. Like, but I know that there were some people that got really toxic in that community. Or when they were playing, like, they got way too serious and started getting, like, really stupidly asshole-like, so I'm kind of glad I didn't do it. The famous one is me. I'm the prodigy who has never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. Yeah, but your father got defeated, so... Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. Oh, that's nice, Miss Von Karma. It's good spirits today. It's true what they say, women are really scary when they fight. Prodigy my ass, you only know 2 words, fool and foolish. She does use that word a lot. She's lacking in the vocabulary department. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it should have been. Oh god, what's she gonna say? The prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point. Wait, what? But we opened the door first. Then how do you explain this picture? Are you saying then that the person in this picture is not the defendant? What is she trying to say? All I am saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe that is when she dropped this key. But we were outside the thing. We were right outside that door though. Nightbot 1 bad guy 0. I didn't write that. I think that's the default, which is kind of strange. Can you substantiate your claim? Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fey, to the stand. Just as I suspected. Aunt Morgan. She seems really torn. Yeah. Like, whatever she says, if she says, like, Maya did come out, is a complete fucking lie, because we were there. My name is Morgan Fay, and I am a spirit medium, in a manner of speaking. I don't think anyone really cares. The judge cared enough to ask. Don't whip him for that. After the murder took place, you kept watch over the defendant, correct? I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then. A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world. That is. Oh my gosh! Like, I might hate the judge, but at least let him do his job somewhat. Something happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that is correct. Mystic Maya, she escaped from the room. Wait, how? We were outside the room, though. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. Whoops. And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Her hair is huge. I mean, we already knew that, but just saying it like that. Holy shit. Okay. Miss Fey, please testify to this court what happened during that time. Your Honor, I will try my best. Oh, such a liar. I think someone just upped the ante on this trial, yeah. Okay. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. Oh wait, we did go out to the payphone, I think. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand, and she was in a daze. Then, quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. I don't think that's what happened. I have a feeling that she let her go to change clothes. Because it's not Maya. Why have you hidden this until now? I did not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise. Oh, so bad, so bad. That's right, she is simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix, right? I did not steep my tea for long enough. Sad. It's fine. My aunt is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony. Okay. If that's the case, Mia, I need to save then. Okay. We can do it. After we heard the two gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. That's true. If there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind. At the time, I myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another... What? Question further. There was another reason you wanted both of us out of that room, wasn't there? Don't lie. Your silence is everything. You must testify. Why did you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be more victims. So she didn't want to have to kill witnesses, I'm guessing. The lives of both the good sir and that camera girl may be in danger. Or both good sir. Was I harsh on Nightbot? No, I don't know. it's a bot account, so I think it just automatically does stuff. So suspicious. Well, that was very noble of you, Miss Faye, was it? This is bad. Now people have a good impression of her and a bad one of us. Ooh. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand and she was in a daze. Hold it! What? During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head. Did she? I don't remember that. And this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by this statement? Oh, that is totally different from this one. If that one was a lie, then how am I so sure that this one isn't a lie? Or not sure? So sure. What? But why would you lie about something like that? The witness was lying to cover for the defendant. I don't believe so. She wouldn't cover for her. No, let's save here. Yeah. No. We must know all the facts. So you were covering for the defendant. Well, yes. It was only later when I was informed of what had occurred. Karma, I'm going to be as nice as possible. That the renegade Mystic Maya had done something very unexpected. Wait, what did she... Von Karma? Stop! Franziska! No, we need to know now. Now, witness, continue with what happened. Then, quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. Was it really that easy for her to escape from you? I'm ashamed to admit to such a thing, however, yes, but you are physically larger and stronger than the defendant. I mean, okay. Growing old is such a mysterious thing. Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called. But if she had run away, wouldn't she have given chase right away? With such great strength, You fainted. I became dizzy and then collapsed onto the floor. Not sure, about 10 minutes perhaps? 10 minutes? I don't think... Did it take 10 minutes for Phoenix to call the police? I don't think that's it. That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, is that because you were unconscious? Always question further, we need more information. So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went. Hey Apple Pie, how's it going? I just want to know how Morgan's hair does that. I know, it's so big. Maybe she wraps her hair around something. Like she puts something on her head and then wraps it around and hair-sprays it down. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? That's also true. A giant donut, exactly. Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. How do you know? There's more witnesses? God damn it. Oh, she has Eeny Meeny, or Eeny Miny, whatever her name is. It means she has another witness up her sleeve, that's what. It looks like Miss Von Karma is ready to move on to her next witness. Oh god. And those two are in cahoots with each other, so it's awful. Okay. From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. And from what she said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber. Where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber? Just being knocked out by heavy blows damaging to the brain, yeah. Okay. Now then, what the escapee had done was she had gone to speak with a certain person. Why? No. That makes no sense. The prosecution... Oh god, are you kidding? I think you can see where this is headed. Oh god, this is awful. So bad. Okay. How am I going to do this? Let's see. Name and occupation. Okay, so my name is like anybody researching parapsychology at the university. Okay. Occult stuff. Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that means. I suggest you go home and research it yourself. Now then, Miss Miney, after the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is this correct? Well, like, I guess. Okay, so not really. If that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is alright, isn't it, Your Honor? For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine for my sake. Oh no, poor Phoenix. I mean, he's not wrong though. This judge really needs to grow a backbone. He's the judge. Like, when the channeling started, I was like sleeping in the side room. Like, a little later, someone came into the room, like, really suddenly. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister. Like, I hadn't seen her in like so long. I was so happy in like a sad way. My sister, she like told me something like totally terrible. That's your testimony? Oh. No worries, dude. Good night. I hope you're successful. Now hold your horses, young lady. You're saying the person that entered was your sister? Don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey? Really now, Your Honor, Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at the time. Oh. So, I mean, doesn't this just mean that Maya is innocent anyway, if she's still channeling? I don't know what this is supposed to bring up. Well, this is... Witness? Like, yeah? In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Like, do I, like, really have to? Of course. Okay. My sister, like, this is what she said to me. Alright, let's see if this was real. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? Amy? Question mark. Okay. Love the car cutscene. It's really nice. It looks really good. She took her revenge. Are you sure that's what she said? Yes. There, are you satisfied, Your Honor? No. I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge. It is a bit hard to swallow. Fucking Christ. However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. So, I mean... what does that prove, though? It certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for. I don't know. I actually didn't realize Eni was wearing a skirt. I thought she was wearing like pants. Of course it was Phoenix. It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it, Phoenix. Find the one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Love the long skirt and yellow Converse. I know, it's so cute. I really like that she has a long skirt too. Usually you see like that kind of outfit in like anime or something, and it's like a mini skirt. I'm like, eh. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder. Again, more fool. Expand your vocabulary, ma'am, please. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining. Or, I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last. Okay, so let's see if I can pick up the lie, because I don't know. Like, we know she's lying, but... Okay. When the channeling started, I was sleeping in the side room. Okay. Was that because of your sesame early allergy? That she... Oh yeah, she told us about that. Yeah, I remember. Okay. Think there were sesame seeds like in the lunch they served that day. I had this like premonition that it was going to totally be a seed eater. Premonition, more like you've planned this day. Okay. A little later, someone came into the room really suddenly. Do you know the time? Like maybe a little before 11 a.m. Something like that, I think. 11 a.m. Why is that so important? Wait, hold on. So... Okay, it doesn't say when he died. Never mind. I think you misunderstood me. I'm not asking what time it is now. Oh, okay. I meant what time was it when the someone came into your room? Can you answer? So like, oh my god, answer the fucking question! Witness about this person who entered the side room. So she won't answer. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister. Okay. Are you absolutely sure? I guess? What do you mean, I guess? Was it or was it not your sister who entered? Totally don't know your sister. Second, I'm an only child. But more than that, she managed to mess up the question with her answer. No, she's not answering our questions. Hadn't seen her in like so long. I was so happy in like a sad way. Okay. It was my sister. Okay. Maybe if I was like someone who didn't know about like the cult, but like know all about the Korean channeling technique. Okay. Never drop it, Phoenix. Always push. So you really didn't think anything strange of the whole encounter? No. Like, there wasn't any reason for me to, like, think anything was strange. But... Hey! Use your words. Wait, so is it really... Okay. Is it really that important that if she saw her sister or not? Like, if she's so sure she saw her sister or not? I would think so. Like, I don't see why it wouldn't be. I did just save, so I should go for... Is it important? I think it's important. Yes. It is very important, although I haven't quite figured out why. Okay. Miss Miney, please amend your testimony. Are you now? You're avoiding questions. I wasn't like scared at all, and like her costume looked totally like normal. So there was nothing odd at all about your sister's appearance. That's impossible. Wait, what do you... Like, is everything okay? Can I, like, go on? Wait, what's impossible? She told you something terrible. What is it? Something terrible. What was the thing she told you? You know what time it is? I don't know. But, like, didn't I just, like, tell you about it? Did you, like, forget already? Enough with the foolishness. Oh! Well, excuse me, princess. I can't believe they put that in there. Anyway, should I ask to hear that again? So, we know what they said. I don't know what time it is. I'll figure it out. So... I don't think I need to bother asking, because I know what they said. Okay. No, we're good. So... Okay, I see. I see, okay. Let me save real quick though. I got it. I see, I see. Totally normal. Mm-hmm. A blood-stained outfit is totally normal. Yep. That was a very well-spun lie, Miss Amy. What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. Time to show Maya's clothes again. Yeah, this... Miss Minnie, or Minnie, I just don't know. May I remind you of what you said? You said that there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. But I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sister you met. I would think that even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you like this. The blood spray. Yep. Anybody coming up to you covered in blood like that, you should be freaked out. Like, what the fuck happened? Why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noted it right off the bat. Oh dear. That's right. What is the meaning of this? Miss Miney? I'm thinking, don't- It's totally her. I'm thinking, don't interrupt me. That witness, her personality did a complete 180 there. Her eyes, dude, she looks exactly... They look so similar. I knew it. It has to be her. Okay. That witness. Okay. Complete 180. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. Wait. I mentioned earlier, and I might be completely wrong, that maybe this is Mimi, but I don't know. Now, hurry up with the testimony, because she had to get her face, like, reconstructed, right? And she used a photo from a driver's license to do it, so it could have been, like, you know... It just still looks a little shaken up. A lot of help he's going to be, but we'll see. Okay. Part 2. The side room was like kinda dark, you know? It was daytime. The door was open. It was not dark in there at any point in time during what happened. So like the costume is like purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. That's a total lie. That face though. And then like I took my sister to the channeling chamber. I don't... Then how would you not notice it when you walked her over? Oh my goodness. No, I'm not satisfied. I guess not. Excuse me. Very well, you may question the witness. Okay, so... It wasn't dark, though. Really, because I thought it was pretty bright inside that room. It's not subjective, it's facts. It was bright. Okay. You're such a hopeless cause. Witness, you may feel free to ignore the trite, little man. Actually, don't ignore. Let me out of here. So, like, the costume is, like, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. But it's... Oh, God, this is so stupid. Wait, that's true. Are you going to tell me next that you didn't notice the gun either? I, like, totally didn't. All I was looking at was, like, oh, jeez. Even the judge is like, What was your sister, Miss Mimi Miney, like at the time? Well, she was, like, totally flipped out, cause she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think, like, she knew that she did something really bad. I don't think she cared. I think that's a bunch of bogus. Nope, I doubt it. Oh god. Okay, and then, like, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Was your sister calm by that point? Like, I guess so? I guess maybe, like, taking her revenge on Dr. Gray, like, made her feel a lot better. Okay, let's see. Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of place? When you were going to the crime scene? Arrived at the crime scene? I would say on the way. Because, I mean, everything's weird at the crime scene. It's all fucked up, right? Not the side room. There's nothing there. Okay, I'll try that. Talking about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. Okay. Think harder. I know you can remember something. Totally can't. So there's nothing... You have to explain yourself clearly to this court. Do you think, Mr. Wright, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the channeling chamber is all that important? Actually, now that now that I think about it, yes, it is. Okay, yes. No, there is, because something was happening in the winding path. Didn't see anyone on the way to, like, the channeling chamber. That makes no sense. Someone was there. I remember, like, I totally didn't see any— okay. We know, Phoenix. The judge believes this testimony. If you don't find some sort of hitch in her statement, he'll end— okay. Okay, we have it. We have it. Okay, let me go to that. Okay, let me save. Save. Okay, we got this. Someone was there. Don't lie to me. Pearly. She was playing with her ball. Steel Samurai bouncy ball thing. You say that you didn't see anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. However, that is impossible. What do you mean? She was also fixing the jar, right, at that time? I'd like to introduce someone to you. This is Miss Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Interesting, you have a semi-intelligent look on your face. So, what about this child? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. Yup. Yup. Which means anyone walking through the area would have seen her. So, Miss Minnie, what do you have to say to that? Oh, that's so scary. I don't like that face at all. She became a ghoul. As the court can see, she's a bit of an airhead. Also, she was leading their sister at the time. Do you honestly think she would have noticed a simple child playing? Preposterous. No, of course. It's not preposterous, and I can prove it. Because she was fixing the thing. There's no way someone walking along the winding way could not have noticed Pearl. Because she was fixing this. This urn is my proof. It says I am. An old cracked clay pot? What is that going to prove? Do you know why it's cracked? It's because Pearl broke it, that's why. She broke the urn. Why do I feel like you're about to ruin my beautiful day? This urn was broken around the time the channeling started. And Pearl was the one who put it back together, while sitting right in the middle of the winding way. Oh, so sad looking. So cute. Oh, that, on the other hand, not so cute. So she obviously didn't do that. Miss Minnie. Pearl was there in the winding way at the time. She was hard at work putting the pieces of the urn back together, you see. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. I think I have sufficiently proven one thing, Miss Minnie. You're a liar. You are a masterful liar. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Miss Minnie, tell us the truth. Like, Judge, why are you defending her? Even if it's, like, indirectly. Like, she's lying to court. She completely fabricated the whole scenario. Which just makes me believe that maybe this is Mimi, but... Again, that's, like, really pushing it. We'll see. About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course. The witness just testified about that, but we've just proved that she's a fucking liar. Was she, though? No, like... I mean, she could have been. There was, like, a body under the thing, but... So, I don't understand... Whatever, no. Your lies end here. What do you... The witness says that during the actual murder she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible because there's clearly a contradiction here, is there? Help me? That's an option? Help me, Mia. It's in the evidence. It's in her testimony. I don't think there's any evidence to prove that. What did she say? She said, like... Oh, my sleep-deprived brain. Okay, let's just do this. Earlier in your testimony, Miss Minnie, you made the following statement. Okay, I'm assuming this is right then. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know. How would you know? Oh, yeah, how would they know? It's true that at the time, both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We had gone to call the police. Oh my god. Her face is slowly... We're seeing more and more of her face. Okay. It's very simple. Miss Miney, how did you know that fact? I concede that Miss Fey was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means, Miss Miney, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by way of the winding way. Oh god. The ghoul is back. The manor guide map. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the winding way, which means... Okay, so the only explanation would be she was never in the side room. She wasn't in the side room during the time that the murder happened. Which is why I asked this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Okay, here's my theory. Just very very tiny one. Very mini-miny. So, this box we saw in the side room later, but it wasn't there before. And then, we know that, I mean, Lotta Hart can fit in there, so I'm assuming she could fit in there easily as well. Maybe people overlooked this box in the channeling chamber because, I mean, it's just a random box, right? What if she was in there? In the box, behind the folding screen. Don't ask a question off of a baseless assumption, if you please. Okay. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Oh, fucking Christ. How am I supposed to know? Other than my theory just now. Okay. Now's your chance, Phoenix. Okay. The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Miney. So now is the time to prove it. Ooh. Okay. So where was the witness when the murder took place? So she had to have been in here. There's no other explanation. Because she's the killer. She had to be back here, right? Okay, so... Oh god. I'll present it, but... She had to be in there. Maybe she went in there beforehand. Isn't that the crime scene? Yes, that's right. Miss Miney was at the scene of the crime. Hiding in a box behind the folding screen. Phoenix, Mr. Phoenix, Wright, have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the chamber when this channeling started. The only person that you could see in the channeling chamber. Miss Eenie Miney was hiding at the scene of the crime. I was hiding? Oh. Where? Like, where was I hiding? Like, here? I'm gonna assume here. Behind. Here, of course. Behind the folding screen? Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. See, you stupid— Oh. Quit being so quick to pin it on me, slime ball. Now, Miss Miney. One so young as you shouldn't be saying, "Shut it, Gramps," as if you know exactly how old I am. Don't apologize. Guess I should help it along. Okay. She is totally Mimi. Okay, this. Oh my god, I was right. Okay. Miss Miney, how you were able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is very simple. You were hiding inside this box. Ho ho. Hold on. I like this music. This is nice music. Out of all the songs I've heard in this game so far, Justice for All specifically, I mean, I like this one. You were hiding inside this box. Oh, the ghoul is back. That tiny little box? No person could fit in that. Nope, a lot of fit in it, and she has a lot of hair. Sorry, but your theory has already been disproved. But that clothing box was in the side room, right? Which means it has nothing to do with the murder at all. No. 1, it wasn't in the side room at the time, and 2, there's a bullet hole in there. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time. She totally beat me. Do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the crime? I can. And now I present the piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Wait, do I have to show the clothing box itself again? Because it has a hole in it. I didn't save. I'll do it. Take a look at the... Okay. You're so stupid. As if there's any sort of evidence in that old thing. This... What on earth? I don't have time for you to sit there surprised. Hurry up and say it already. There's a hole. About 8 inches off the ground. A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Where have we heard that before? It's the screen! The folding screen. It had a hole at the same height. That's right. I hope this has opened your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen. Which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Miss Minnie, you were hiding behind the folding screen waiting for your chance. Yes, for your chance to kill Dr. Gray. Yes! Oh... So what you were saying... Then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo is Miss Eenie Miney? I mean, it definitely looks like her. That is exactly what I am saying. Miss Eenie Miney, you were hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore Medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey. Oh... Wait, did she use, like, sleeping drugs? She had it planned from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my client. No, stop. I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Wright, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved the clothing box to the crime scene. Let me save. No, I don't think she moved it. I think Morgan did. Pretended to be the defendant, killed the victim, and then fled the scene of the crime. It's not possible for one person to do all that by herself. Correct? It's not possible. It's not possible. Okay, we got this. It really is impossible for one person to do all the preparations, that is. Wait, Miss Von Karma, you said it was not possible for one person, correct? You can't be serious. Miss Miney, you had an accomplice. Oh my god. Yes! It's totally her. This person. If it wasn't someone from Pudding Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Fey household, you wouldn't have that box to use. Morgan Fey. Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had earlier? What do you have to say to this, Miss Miney? You shot Dr. Gray with your own 2 hands. Do you deny it? Oh. I think this is what really happened. Oh. I feel so bad for like Mia and Maya, and especially Pearl though, because like that's their family. I think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then the channeling started. The murderer crept silently towards the other 2, both of whom had their eyes closed. Oh! First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then, she stabbed Dr. Gray with the knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened. Morgan. Oh, he wasn't dead yet. Dr. Gray was actually not yet dead. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. Oh. Okay. And that is why the hole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. Oh. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray, and... After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room? Yes, a gunshot is certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. I see. Miss Miney, she immediately covered her own costume with blood. And pretended to be Maya Fey. But that sort of deception would have been easy to see through. No. Which is, well, I mean, it's easy to see through, but also, like, the evidence that they have physical attributes of who they channel would make it a little hard, especially for someone who knows for sure that's real. Like Phoenix, right? Phoenix, right? Which is precisely why Miss Morgan Fey chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Hurry, before there are more victims here. What is one supposed to say? This is the real truth behind this murder. Okay, so she's not Mimi, but... Have to go, important roommate reunion happening. No problem. It's all good. Thanks for stopping by, though. Who is that? Laughing at a time like this? Oh, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry, are you still by chance evolving? What is this? What is it this time? Of course it was me. Do you really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty? What the fuck? Mr. Phoenix Wright, your argument is flawed in one very crucial area. If this witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Because her sister, working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act. What reason would she have to do such foolish things? We have a motive. I mean, we actually do have a motive. She has a motive. Yeah, that's right. What exactly? That's exactly what I was... No, you weren't gonna say that. Why would Miss Eenie Meenie want to kill Dr. Gray? Where is her motive? You have a motive. It's so obvious. She has a motive. Hold on, do I do this one? 2 women crashed. The driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. I was totally tired, dropped off asleep. I think it's this one, but it could be this one. Let's try this one. You think I did this to get revenge for my sister's death? Because through that accident you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself. Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I wanted to take revenge based on nothing. See now, stupid Gramps. I'm, like, going to explain, so, like, please listen. Okay, listen. You can't just change your tune like that. It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. No, you told him. Ah, God. However, stop! Well, he didn't fail, you interrupted him. What a bitch. The end is not the end. I think we have our answer. She has a motive. Miss Morgan Fay has a motive. Wait, don't I? Oh wait, maybe she is Mimi. I don't know. Fuck. Who said that? Your Honor, please allow the defense 1 more minute. You can't lose here. Have faith in yourself, Phoenix. It does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for murder, but, you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. Listen, Phoenix. Everything happens for a reason. There's a reason for why she had to kill Dr. Gray, and is also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion. Fuck, what? Okay. Save. Saving. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Miney had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you provide the reason? Can I? I don't fucking know. I might have to look this up. Because I got everything here. Okay, you know what? I'll just say yes I can and we'll see how it goes from there. We have to press on. Only you can do this now. I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Miney had a motive. My cross-examination. Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh no, she's being hit. I'm okay with this one though. Avon Karma only cares about the perfect win. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I don't care if you are my witness, so help me, I will throw you out of my way. Alright, the court will take a 5-minute recess. Nope, ignore her. To be continued. It's only 9:40. Okay, we'll just continue right off the bat. Yes, save. Okay. Okay. June 22nd. Is it really true about my aunt? Yep, I'm afraid so, Maya. There's no way Amy could have killed Dr. Gray by herself. And under the circumstances, there's no one else other than your aunt. Because of your mom. Everything is going just as I predicted, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What the fuck? Don't you have something better to be worrying about? Say, your own situation? Are you done yet? You've caused me enough pain and suffering. Oh my god, can you like leave me alone? But even if you do that, it won't bring your father back. Whatever. In the meantime, let's bring this match to its conclusion. And then, we'll know who the real winner is. God, I don't even know. We didn't even get to talk to anyone but her, so there's no, like... Okay, well, whatever. Okay. Court will now reconvene, Mr. Wright. Can I prove it? No? Okay, yeah. If you please. Okay, okay. Okay, let's listen to this. Okay, this might bring the facts that I need to prove that she had a motive. That was, like, last year in May. Something really bad had happened at, like, my sister's clinic around then. The night of the accident, my sis was totally tired while she was driving. I was, like, totally pooped too, so I fell asleep in the passenger seat. I, like, woke up because of a jolt, and, like, it was a sea of flames around me. I opened the door and got away. It was all the talk on the tabloid shows day after day last year. Talked about Dr. Gray drugging your sister. No. Right now it's impossible to prove that Dr. Gray did in fact drug Miss Miney's sister. Oh god, okay. I don't think we need to press on that. Okay, let's do this. She was totally tired, you mean exhausted? She had to talk to the police and, like, was being investigated, like, every day. It was a totally terrible situation. So then, why didn't you ask to switch places? Huh? Like, what are you talking about? I mean, switch drivers. If your sister was so tired, then you should have switched with her. But you do. She has her license. It's like totally pooped, so I fell asleep. I hold on. Let me see if I can present that. Because she has her license. No, okay, never mind. Tired when she was driving. The accident happened at night, correct? It's 1 AM or so. A paper due real soon, so like I hadn't slept and was working like real hard. Okay. And your sister, what happened to her? I didn't see her. The car was like totally black and there was like a ton of smoke. Opened the door and got away. But she had a driver's license photo. Gave an interview after the accident, like, that would probably be the most accurate, you know? Didn't have my license, so I couldn't take... Oh, here! Okay. This is where I need to present it. Got it. Miss Miney, that was a lame lie just now. I know you had a license back then. This is a photo you took for the express purpose of getting a driver's license. That's... That's right. Yeah, I had like a license, but I didn't get it until after the accident. No, because you used the license as a photo to reconstruct your face because from the accident. You had it at the time of the accident. Director Hottie, or the guy pretending to be him anyway, said so. Yes, the perverted fake clinic director. Like last November. What? Stop hitting him! Even if I had my license, I like don't think my sis would have let me drive. Wait, did Mia hit him? Why do you think you would not have been allowed to drive anyway? Okay. Mia, the savior. You totally meant to be mean. Okay. Around that time, I was like really close to getting my license. My sis was like this totally big fan of cars and really valued them. She had just gotten this really shiny bright red sports car. She like would say things like, "No way am I letting a noob drive my car." So like that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night too. Oh my god, okay. A noob. Okay. Not knowledgeable about cars. Me neither. We'll get through this. Okay. Also, that noise I made. What the fuck? Okay. A permit. Okay. Okay, my sis was like this total big fan of cars and really valued them. Okay. Value cars. How much would you say she valued her car? Well, like, she'd flip out at like a drop of rain, and like she would notice if someone like touched the car door with dirty hands. Why bother taking the car out of the garage ever? That's true. It's gonna get dirty no matter what, so... It's a car! I would think that cars getting dirty is just another fact of life, but I guess people who really love cars think otherwise. She like had just gotten this really shiny red, bright red sports car. Okay. Got it from the UK. What? Were those her... Dude, like the United Kingdom? Waited a whole year for it to arrive. We were so close, it was like perfect, but okay. Now we just need to find her motive. Your Honor, please have the witness append what she just said to her testimony. Okay, special model from England. Said she was going to be like racing queen of the nursing world. She bumped my question off track again. Okay. It's going to be hard to break apart such a natural-sounding testimony, but we have to attack it, and by doing so, a flaw will show itself. Oh my god. Okay. So we did that. Ask for the heck of it. They're expensive and their driver's seat is opposite to our cars here in the States. I mean, honestly, this doesn't really work that well unless, in the Japanese version, it's a car from America. Because in Japan, the seats are the same as in the UK. It's on the right side, the driver's seat. But, because in the Japanese version, and official lore, I guess, this takes place in Japan, so I'm gonna assume that if this translation is accurate to a degree, that they're talking about the car is from America or the United States and then imported from there to Japan, maybe. It would seem there's no benefit to owning one. Like, huh? This whole steering wheel on the right side thing, it's kinda goofy, isn't it? Oh. Oh, is she Mimi? It's interesting, isn't it, Phoenix? Bit by bit, we're beginning to see the real contradiction behind this case. I don't know. She like would say things like, no way I'm letting a noob drive my car. Wait. Is there something I didn't press? I'm really confused. So... So now we know it's a British car. Dropped off, slept, huge. Opened the right door and like, okay, so that's not possible. Do I show that here? Here, I'm gonna save because that's not possible. So if it was a British car, I mean, in this case, right? Then the driver's seat is on the right. So, okay. I just need to make sure this is the right place. Okay. Do you remember this article? It's an article about the accident. You had said this in it, but I opened the right door and got out. That's correct, isn't it? Like, why are you suddenly asking me about that? Your Honor, which side is the passenger seat, the left or the right? Well, it's on the right side, of course, because the driver is on the left side. That would be if it were an American car, but it would be the opposite in a British car. The two of them were riding in a British car, apparently. In that case, the passenger side would be the left side. Miss Miney, you said that you had escaped using the right side door of the car. Wait, is she Mimi or is she lying about the car? But if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat. Oh my god. Mr. Phoenix Wright is blabbering nonsense again. Amy said the person who was driving was her older sister, Mimi. That is what Amy said, yes, but that is where her story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions. It looks like you finally found the root of this murder. If we connect all the dots, there can only be one answer. Wait, is she really Mimi? I'd like to ask the court a question. Amy or Mimi, who was really driving that car? Wait. I want to say Mimi, though. Because that would be a twist. That would be a fucking twist, right? It's like, who is really driving the car? It has to be Mimi. So, my theory from earlier was that she used Amy's photo to fix her face. And now she's pretending to be her sister. Is that it? After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive. But you just said the witness, Miss Inimani, was the one in the driver's seat. Because she's Mimi! Oh my god, I was right! Holy shit, are you fucking kidding? You're for real. The next question. Who is the person standing at the witness stand right now? Oh my god, I was right! You're fucking kidding! Oh my god. That's why I wanted to see what her face looked like with her eyes open so much. Because I was like, what if she just looks like her sister? But she was her sister. She was Mimi. What sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This witness's name is... I'll tell you what her name really is. This witness's real name is... Oh my god, you are fucking kidding! Mimi Miney, that is your real name. You're fucking kidding! I was right! Oh my god. Of all the foolish dribble, then how do you explain her appearance? This witness had severe facial burns when she was admitted into the hospital. So for the purpose of facial reconstruction, the surgeons used a picture. Facial reconstruction surgery, yes. This is the picture she gave to her doctors at the time. Oh my god. That's right. It's a picture of her younger sister. Holy shit, I can't believe it! I can't believe I got that right! And I can't believe that... Oh my god. But Mimi Miney, she died in the car accident. That's what everyone thought, however, that was not the case. The body they found at the crash site was Amy. The real... Oh no, that's really sad though. Are you kidding me right now? Isn't that right, Miss Mimi Miney? Oh my god. I cannot believe I was right. Hold on, I need to fix my hair. It's still wet, but I need to put it up, which is annoying. Okay. That car accident 1 year ago. The one who died that night was Eenie Miney. Her sister Mimi then stole her face and was reborn as Eenie. With this, she effectively erased Mimi Miney from existence. So she wouldn't be under the scrutiny as the nurse who fucked up. That's fucked up. Your Honor, I'm sure you can now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. Gray. What is the meaning of this nonsense? Dr. Gray wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. He wanted to call back Mimi. Specifically, the spirit of his nurse that died in the crash, Mimi Miney. However, that would not have been possible because Mimi Miney was still in fact alive. Holy shit. And that fact would have been discovered had the channeling been conducted. So, this witness had to stop that from happening at all costs. And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner Gray. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I still cannot believe I was right. Holy shit. Before the channeling, Dr. Gray had the misfortune of consulting this witness about communicating with the dead. And in that moment, his fate was sealed. Oh my goodness. Well, Miss Von Karma. Why did you say my name just now? Looks like I've been unmasked. Witness? That's a pretty face. That's right. I admit it. My real name is Mimi Miney. That quack doctor, he got what he deserved in the end. And I was so close to finally ditching Mimi too. So close. But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself? To become your own sister? I need a drink. Fucking Christ. Okay. I think I understand why. Mimi Miney wanted her old self to disappear because of this. Right? That's about the malpractice incident. Dr. Gray was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi Miney. The person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi Miney had a car accident in which she lost her younger sister. The timing couldn't have been worse. 14 patients dying in that incident and her own sister's life extinguished. Wow, this is really fucked up. It was all too much to bear. I found a way for myself to escape it all. The only way. She lost everything in the flames of that accident, her sister, and even her own face. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past and start a new life as her sister. Unbelievable, a plan beyond my wildest imagination. That jerk. If only he hadn't thought of that channeling mumbo-jumbo. Becoming Ini had been the most horrible experience in the world. Spirit channeling, the occult. I hate it. I hate it all. Morgan, right? I believe there are still a few unsolved riddles here, such as, why did Miss Miney choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Miss Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. The innocence of the defendant, Maya Fay. This is preposterous. I'm perfect. Me, Franziska von Karma. I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Miss Von Karma. How about you? It's going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Your defeat, that is. She still has the weapon, dude. Oh my god! Phoenix, hang in there, Phoenix. Oh my god. Oh, I did it too soon. No! Wait. I'll have to put those together or something. Yeah, this is only 10 seconds. No, come on, I did it too soon. Whatever, it's okay. It's fine. We have, I'll just make a clip or something. This court is a fraud, a sham. You're a fraud. Well, you're not, but now then. It looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness. Yeah, because she fucking whipped me, like, fucking, what? So I will go ahead and pronounce the verdict. Not guilty. Ho ho ha. Yay, Maya! Phoenix isn't there. That is all. This court is adjourned. Well, we know why Morgan did it, but... Congratulations, Maya. Sis. Of course I have to screen capture. It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing? It's so nice. I mean, okay, think about it. She's been the one channeling Mia, so she's never like been able to converse with her. It's really sad. I didn't kill anyone, did I? Oh, it was all just a dream. A really bad dream. You know, in my dream, I smelled a really familiar scent. I was inside that clothing box, right? That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago. Oh no! Oh. There's one thing I don't quite get. What would have happened if Mimi hadn't shot Dr. Gray? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot. I think Mimi Miney had planned to open the door to the chamber herself, and then you and Lotta would have witnessed quite a scene. A possessed Maya Fey who had just committed a murder. Oh, she totally did. Congrats, Maya! Oh no. Looks like you bailed me out of another jam. Well, you know. Oh, but your auntie. I really don't want something like this to happen ever again. Yeah, it's fucking traumatic, holy shit. I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick. But every time something happens, I lose someone special to me. First my sister, and now my aunt. Poor Maya. Tell me why my aunt went and did something so horrible. Why would she help Mimi Miney with a plan like that? I don't understand it, Nick. Maya, it's over. Why don't we just let it be? Please, I need an answer. God, I forgot he was there. Do I show Pearl's photo? I think. Pearly, 4 years from now, a new master will be born into Korean village. And that person will be you, Maya. But if you weren't there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear. And what would happen then? The branch family, my aunt. No, Morgan's spiritual power was too weak. The next person would be Pearl's. Everything was done for her sake. It was all so that Pearl's would become the next master. Wait. Yeah, did she say something? I think that she was saying, I thought so. Oh, poor girl. I feel bad for her. Her aunt, like, conspirating to, like... You know. Frame her for murder. My precious Pearl, you are the only one suitable to be the master of Kudain, dear child. I sacrificed it all for you. I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder, and cooperated with the whip-happy prosecutor. It was all to unseat that annoying, witless main family girl. That Maya Fey. But I shall be patient. My dearest Pearl, a chance will present itself. Your time will come. God, she is such a bitch. I hate her. Holy shit. She's still there. Fuck.